Right, today I'm bringing you the HP OmniBook X Flip 14 inch. Very nice portable PC, especially for the price. So it's a Copilot Plus PC, so you get all those lovely built-in AI features that come that integrate really well into a lot of the Windows apps and all of that sort of stuff. And that's all powered by a very capable Intel Core Ultra 7 processor. So yeah, it does chug along quite nicely. But really, it's all about the form factor, isn't it? With the X Flip. So in this case, the OmniBook X Flip. So obviously, you've got this. If I can just, a bit hard to do waving it around like in front of you like this. But we'll open her up, and so very nice. All the HP laptops that I've reviewed recently have got a very nice keyboard action, nicely spaced out keyboard, and an ample touchpad on there as well. And yes, you've got a nice little camera there that does Windows Hello as well, which is great. And it's got a physical privacy shutter if that sort of thing matters for you too. But yeah, the form factor. Obviously it works as a laptop. You can also have it in tent mode, which I like to do. If you're gaming, that's quite cool to just plonk it down and then grab your connected controller and just have a standalone screen like that. And obviously when you're watching your streamers and things, that's quite handy being able to set it up that way. Maybe on the coffee table, maybe on the kitchen bench, maybe in bed, to watch things on this very nice touch screen. And then of course you can fold it right back and then it becomes a tablet. Now I do question how useful a tablet it is. You've got to really want to use a tablet to use this device as a tablet, because at this stage, it's still the weight of a laptop at the end of the day. So it's pretty heavy as tablets go, and I'm not quite sure what the use case is that you're wanting to cross. There'll be one, and I'm sure there are people out there going, "Oh, if only my laptop would turn into a tablet." But yeah, given that generally tablets aren't super expensive, although this would be, at 14 inches, it would be a very large tablet, obviously. But yeah, I've always found that to be a little bit clumsy. I mean, it's cool, but in actual fact, the feature that I use more often with a laptop like this is one that they don't talk about at all. They talk about being in laptop mode, being in tent mode, but they never talk about being in flat mode or nearly flat mode, because most laptops only go back to about that far. But sometimes, especially if you're standing up at your desk, you want to be able to tilt that screen right back, and I think that's quite useful for that. Anyway, that's just me. But yeah, as you can see, does all those modes and holds everything in place pretty much at whatever angle you want. With these, they've done a great job on that hinge system. Pretty good sound out of this device. The screen looks lovely for watching content on, and quite good ports. I'm only going to say quite good, but not excellent. So you've got a USB-A on this side, and your mic headphone jack there as well, and then we've got another USB-A on this side. So that's quite unusual to have two USB-As on a laptop. And then we've got a couple of USB-C ports here. I would have preferred that if they'd put one of those on the other side so we could power it from either side. That's always very convenient for me, so you're not having to, depending on where you're plugged in, sometimes you've got to stretch the cord over from one side to the next. It's a little thing, but I mean, if you're going to put all those ports on there, I'm not quite sure why you can't have one on each side. But anyway, where they really get marks on is there's an HDMI slot there, so you're not having to plug an external device in if you want to go to an external screen, with that you can just go straight in via the HDMI, which is that's pretty cool on a laptop to have a dedicated HDMI socket on there as well. So I mean, you're getting a lot of laptop there. 512 gig of storage. So it's not it's not a terabyte, but yeah, it's decent. And like I say, very good processor running the shop as well. Um, I've been pretty impressed with what HP have been doing with their laptop cameras lately as well. So let's have a look at this one and see how it goes. I'll take you inside it now. Here we go. Ready? Okay, so here we are now inside the HP OmniBook X Flip 14-inch, and so as you can see, I'm using some of the Windows Studio effects because you can have this nice portrait blur background, which I much prefer to the full blurry background that people naturally seem to put themselves in front of for some reason. But yes, and you can do things like auto framing and that sort of thing, eye contact, which I am using here as well. So if I look away, my eyes are supposed to stay looking towards you, or if I quickly look to one side to check what the specs are of this device, I'm looking at you the whole time, supposedly. Anyway, once again, you be the judge of how am I looking, how am I sounding. I think it's probably a pretty good computer for any online meeting or video call that you want to make. And you can also, HP have a thing where they can put a big white ring, which doesn't quite work like an LED light, like a studio light, but it does give a little bit more light on you. That's not what I'm using here. I'm using an actual light, and as you can see, weirdly, it does keep changing quite dramatically depending on what's happening in the shot. So it's not perfect, but the actual quality is pretty good. So there you have it from inside the OmniBook X Flip. Crazy form factor. I'll fold myself up into it now, and we'll see you next time.